Hi, welcome to the Headphones On podcast. I am your host, Hunter Taylor. To my left is Juan.
Hello.
To my right is Carlos.
Hi.
And this is a podcast that comes to you live every Friday on a streaming platform of your choice. Also on YouTube if you want the visual fidelity of this experience, where we have no decorations at all because this was last minute.
It's a work in progress.
It is a work in progress. We don't know what the fuck we're doing.
We'll get there eventually.
But we're working on it. Today, gentlemen, we're talking about your boy Ye, your boy Kanye West, his Donda 2 listening experience, Kanye as a whole, and how we just feel about the direction he's kind of going in right now, I guess the best way to explain it. So we all watched the listening event together online. Carlos, what did you think?
It's a dumpster fire. And I say that with respect because Kanye is obviously debatably my favorite artist, and everything he's done, I mean, to a certain degree, holds like a place in my heart. But that was genuinely just one of the most atrocious things I've ever seen.
How do you feel about it?
I wouldn't have felt that strongly about
Yeah,
it. Don't get me wrong, though. Like, it's nowhere near anything of his caliber. But I definitely do see, like, the diamonds. Like, some parts I really, really like. And then just some parts are like...
Well, don't get me wrong. The visuals, I mean, they're Kanye. They're incredible. He did a fantastic job with, like, set design. I mean... The house on fire, the reflection, like having the water in front of the house, like all that was beautiful. But I mean,
the mic drop.
Everything else was just so rough, and it wasn't to a level that he is used to dishing out. I mean, it was genuinely just
Rough. It was rough.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah.
And I know it's out of his control, which is a sad part because people are just gonna blame him and they're gonna shit on him for that. But there was nothing that he could have done that was gonna make it, have a different outcome. It was all out of his hands.
I can tell you one thing. He's probably not going to play in Miami
Yeah,
for a long time.
He's probably not too fond of Miami.
When the whole world is telling the sound guy to find God, I think it's pretty safe to say that he's not coming back to Miami. For me, I thought the event was really, really fucking cool in terms of the way, similar to what Carlos said, in the way it looks. I thought it was very like iconically made, and it was like a twist on the Soldier Field performance, which was really cool. And it just kind of got weird when he was playing his regular songs. It was fine. It was regular Kanye, where he had the people walking around the house and all that stuff. And then it just took a fucking nosedive as soon as the after the choir played and started performing songs off the first Donda. He played like Hurricane and he played Off the Grid. What else did he play?
Grid.
Off the Grid was
that
trash fire. That was awful, which is one of every fan favorite off of Donda 1. And like, I did not see Messi watching that. I did not. They were not playing soccer in the backyard. Like Playboy Cardi ruined that. Some random dude with spike hair ruined that. They took that away from me. They took that away from us. I was just, every single person I think had the same reaction, which is, who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah. I just have no words.
It's like that when you have a new version of a song and it's just so bad that you're questioning how good the first one was.
Oh, Playboy Cardi was at fucking WrestleMania for some reason. I don't know why. He was just there and fucking like the Hardy Boys makeup and shit. Like, I'm like, what is going on? And then obviously, of course, for Jail, he couldn't just play Jail 1. No, he had to play Jail 2 with the baby and Marilyn Manson. We're not even going to get into that, but it was just why. And that was probably Marilyn Manson's like, hey, guys, this is my chance. This is it. And it failed so bad.
It failed the first time. Well, I don't know what made you think. The
Yeah.
second time, this will be it. This will stick.
He was just like, "This is my chance, my big chance." And of course, and then that song, Kanye just throws the fucking mic. He's like, "I'm done," and he just refuses to do any of his verses afterwards.
I
I
mean,
don't know.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Especially for someone like him. Like, he's like, I'm done. Like,
Yeah,
if
it's
I can't do it
embarrassing.
how I
He
want
he
it.
already knew that he wasn't going to be able to perform to the level that he's used to, and just not deliver that like experience. And
Mhm.
it's really unfortunate because it probably would have been the best listening party and event that he hosted if it wasn't for that.
Mhm.
It definitely would have been up there.
Yeah, I thought some of the new music was cool, and we none of us have a Donda stem player. I've uh listened
No,
to
you're
it
gonna pay
illegally.
$200 for it.
And I've been listening to it on my phone, and it's the verse that he put out is super unfinished. Obviously, everyone's already said that, but like it was the Miami version, so like the song like Louis Bags with Jack Harlow cuts his verse off like it does in the live performance. And that's extremely aggravating to listen to. Or songs are completely unpolished, or he has missing songs like Easy with the game, which is a finished song and probably the only finished song, and he didn't put it on there, but he put out the music video with Pete Davidson getting decapitated in
Skeet.
claymation. So it's such a oh, there goes my phone. There goes my phone. It's such a weird and maddening time to be a Kanye fan, just because we've all been Kanye fans for such a long time. I've been since I was a little kid, and I I don't know what to say, because at least I wanted really good music, and he's still working on the album. But honestly, like, I don't know if I'm as excited anymore, to be honest with for Donda 2 at least. More so for what he has in the future, just because from base of what I heard, it's there's some okay stuff.
He needs work.
Yeah,
He he needs work to put on that.
it does not even compete with Donda 1 to
No,
me.
and it just the excitement of listening to a Kanye project just isn't there with this. At least to me, like there's some songs that I still love and I still enjoy listening to, but it's nowhere to anything. I mean, Donda 1, it just instantly clicked and you just wanted to keep listening to it. And there was always songs that you could go back to, and then the more you listen to it, the more you would find other songs.
Mhm.
With this, it's hard, and I get that it's unfinished, but he was probably under a lot of pressure to drop it when he said he was going to drop it. But I don't think there's been any revisions to the songs. I don't think he's been updating them since they dropped. So I don't know. It's been
A roller coaster.
yeah, it's been it's been like 2 or 3 weeks now, and we still haven't gotten anything. Which even that is unlike him because he's always changing stuff even after it drops. I mean, even Donda, I mean, he was changing it, and then we got the deluxe, and he changed the entire track list, and we haven't heard anything. So I just genuinely don't know where he's going with this, and
Mhm.
like what's gonna happen.
He needs a
And
whole redo. Like, he
yeah,
needs a whole redo.
I mean,
Kind of like he did on the first one, because the first listening party for Donda
I
1
mean, yeah, the first
was
listening
rough.
party
Was
was,
rough.
but that was unfinished, and he didn't put out any of those songs. He knew those songs needed work, and he went back and he went in. He mastered a lot of those songs.
Mhm.
The versions that we listened to at that first listening party
See,
do not compare to the versions
but
that we have now.
that's the difference of the first listening party. You can't get it yet because you knew that was
Yeah,
unfinished.
you can't.
This
Yeah,
one, this man, all right, you want to listen to this? $200,
but I
and
think
it's
it was more
unfinished.
so because he promoted the album with the stem player,
Mhm.
and the album had that release date that he was already promising everyone, and people went out. I mean, when he said he wasn't dropping the project on streaming services and that it was going straight to stem to the stem player, he got like what, like over 3 million
Yeah,
3 million
yeah.
in revenue
He's a great
from
businessman.
the
Like,
stem player.
we can say what you want. Business wise, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, within the first 48 hours, I think he made over 3 million, and that's pretty crazy. So I think he had that kind of need to put it out when he did. And I mean, there's a chance that we might get like revisions and get an actually complete album, but
Mhm.
as of right now, it's not really looking super promising, and it's disappointing because there was so much hype behind this album, and it really just wasn't the Kanye album
No.
that I think anyone was expecting. It's
Even
strange.
as Donda 1, as mixed reviews as it was, like you could definitely put it way above Donda 2. Like it wasn't even the same ballpark.
Mm.
And as mixed as that album is, that's how
The
bad this one.
the funny thing is a lot of the critics weren't as huge on Donda One, but a lot of YouTube reviewers actually really enjoyed it, and they would put it like in the end of their lists and stuff like that. And it felt like it was more of an album for the people, more so than an album for critics. But like
Good.
Don Donda Two, I what's the best way to explain this? Like I walked into this thinking when I first heard it at the listening party, I was like, okay, it's a bit more aggressive. It's a bit more in your face, a bit more experimental, weirder. It was kind of leaning more towards like the God breathed on this type of Donda more so than like all the more spiritual aspects of Donda. And I was all about that. I was like, okay, we're getting a little darker with like songs like True Love and stuff like that. But then the more you listen to it, the less you want to stay in it. And like it kind of just runs its course really fast. And you're like, oh, well, I'm done with this now. So I'm going to go back and listen to Dawn FM or something else that I'm
Such
enjoying
a
a lot
better
more.
album.
So it's like, it's really tough to really want me to stay when all I'm getting is these tracks that he just basically put out to suffice people so they don't like get mad at him. It seems like I gave you something to hold on to, and you know this is the unfinished version, so here you go. But at least for that first Donda listening party, I knew it wasn't finished. I knew it wasn't coming out. The second one, I saw the improvements, but I still knew it wasn't coming out. Third party, I was like, it has to come out now. But you know, it sounds so much better.
Yeah, I mean, 3 listening parties at that
Technically,
point. Like,
four. He
Four?
did one in Vegas. The first one, it was like a hidden one.
even worse. Like, after that, like, yeah, like you're done. Like, that's why the whole Peppa
Yeah.
Pig was started thing. Like, all right.
This album feels more like it's like a therapy session in terms of like him wanting to deal with all the things that's happening with him with his divorce and everything and him putting all his feelings out more so than him trying to make an album that's really going to stick with people and be more about the music in a way. It's more so about what's behind it in my opinion than the actual music itself. Um
Like,
which
I could get that. But the
yeah.
thing is, there's so much better ways to do it. You could say the same thing for 808s and Heartbreak.
Yeah.
And
Better album.
fantastic, way better album. You could put yourself in while trying to play to the norm, which is what Kanye always does. He
Even
never
Don-
plays it.
Even Donda One, which is him finally kind of like pouring out his feelings about his mother and him dealing with that death and him having to kind of cope with her not being there. And you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I even like it how it has like the half like spiritual aspects of him,
Yeah.
of him going to it, but not super pushing as like Jesus is King.
Yeah.
Which I'm still rock with the Jesus is King, but like not throw it to you out of your throat.
Mhm. Yeah, because that's the sad thing is in this state, I know don't cut my head off for the people who are really vibing with Donda 2 right now. Because I do like it, just because I'm a Kanye fan, so I'm gonna like it, whatever. But like I even would rather listen to Jesus is King, and that was my
Represent.
least favorite Jesus album.
Represent.
Kanye album. It was my least favorite one, and at least that one, despite how rough it is and how half-assed it is compared to Yandi, at least it's complete. Whereas this, it's like obviously we're still waiting on the completed versions. There's still gonna be like probably 6 more songs I said that they're gonna release. And he was in the studio with Beach House, which is fucking weird. I love Beach House though, so I'm actually kind of excited, but it's fucking weird. And so many weird things happening right now, and I don't know. The Channy Jones thing with the Kim Kardashian look-alike. It just keeps going and going and going and going. And that's a Kanye album rollout. It's not surprising to me. But it's also just very underwhelming, and just like
Very.
Carlos said, and I just was expecting a bit more. There's once again there are some actually pretty solid songs on there, but when you get into like songs like Sci-Fi, where you have this beautiful orchestral arrangement and it's fucking cool, and we were listening to it, and Juan was like, "Oh, I really like the background of this song, like it's really cool." to then get to, oh, I gave you this semen, I saw God, his face, Morgan Freeman, or some shit like that. It's just like, what are we
Let
doing
me get
here?
this
Like,
beautiful thing and let me just Kobe that right out of here.
and
Let me just do
I
that.
I usually like more outlandish Kanye lines, especially, which is why, I mean, we love Yeezus so much, but it's like it kind of matches the chaos of Yeezus. This is chaotic, but not in as much of a good way. Even though that sounds bad because I'm excusing things. I'm not. I'm excusing it. Some of the lines are offensive on Yeezus. I get it, but like
I get it.
You're gonna,
let me brush that out, bro. It's
still
a good
gonna
album.
rap.
That's why. Let me brush that out real quick.
He's still gonna rap it. That makes it sound so much worse. I'm sorry. So anyways, but yeah, in terms of that, I just really miss like the way I felt when we went to the Life of Pablo tour, and like seeing Pablo live was like a dream come true. And like,
First album. Or
huh?
first album. First concert.
Oh, that was, yeah, that
Yep.
was Swam's
Yeah.
first concert.
That's one hell of a way to start it.
Yeah, that's a great first one.
Like, it literally gave us everything that we wanted and beyond. I know there were some shows, a lot of shows on that tour that got cut short or whatever. But like for at least the Miami one before the sound guy had to find God, it was actually a really fun time, and I was like in love with the direction that Kanye was going, and um, I don't know. I love the Yeezus era. I love the graduation era. Like, so it's Carlos. We love I love, love the 808s era. We love all the
Yes.
eras of Kanye. But this era, I love the way he dresses. I know a lot of people disagree with that because a lot of people be like the boots are ugly or whatever. But I kind of like it though, because it's actually like, I like how he kind of turned it into kind of like a comedy thing where like he's like, oh, I wore these boots even in the shower today on the song Easy. Like, I think it's funny, like, honestly. And it's like, I don't want to say iconic, but it's very like, no one in the world is gonna wear those fucking boots, and every single person's like, "What the fuck in the yeehaw is this shit?"
It's like the SpongeBob episode with the boots that he's wearing. He doesn't want to let it go.
But I kind of dig it though, and I like all the masks and stuff. He even has Antonio Brown.
I do really like all the masks. that he
Yeah.
has.
Even like the creepy Michael Myers ass one where he's just in Germany with like a fucking like weird Michael. It's not Michael Myers like William Shatner mask, but it's it like kind of resembles it, and you're like, what the fuck is this? But I kind of dig it. I like how that all the aesthetic of it. I just hate all of the background stuff of it, which is usually kind of what comes with the territory with the Kanye thing. But it's just sad.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate, but like, I'm still looking forward to whatever comes after the updates he does to this, and hopefully he can make it a lot more listenable. Because as of right now, I don't really have a lot of plans to really revisit the unfinished. I'm really praying to God he updates this and he doesn't just leave it as it is.
Maybe
'Cause
3 songs I'll go back to.
if
Yeah,
And-
I
and
mean
that's
there's
it?
a couple songs,
Mhm.
but as a whole, the project, I
Yeah.
mean, it just the replay value isn't there,
Mhm.
and I have nothing like making me go back. It's hard to go back to it, and I don't want to feel that way because I mean, with every Kanye project, you can just throw it on and you can listen to it front to
I
back.
got you on Jesus is King.
And
I got him on record. He said that.
no, but even Jesus King, fuck it, like throw it in there. It despite being one of the least like enjoyable albums out of the bunch, you can still throw it on and listen to it front to back, and it's cohesive. It's there. But I mean, there's nothing wanting me to go back to this. I mean, there's a couple songs, and I really do think he'll update it. It's just it's kind of
matter of when.
yeah when he's gonna do it, and I have a feeling that we're gonna get a completely different album
Good.
than what we're listening to right now if it does come out. And I do think it could be a good thing. And yeah.
True Love with Triple X is actually really good. A lot of the songs are the 2 songs that are with Triple X are surprisingly good. I think it's like that and Selfish are good. Lord Lift Me Up with Vori is actually fucking amazing, but it's so bare bones and Kanye's not even on the song, and I'm like, I wish there was more to this. I wish there was a beat. I wish there was a Kanye verse or 2, and like Broken Road has one Kanye verse and then it like fucks off, and it's like, where is anything. The one with Migos, I forgot the name. It's like I forgot what it's called,
I
but
forgot the whole thing.
Migos actually sounded good on that song. But it's like
I am not a Migos person, but I will have to say like he really, I mean, he really brought out the best of them. And
Yeah.
even with Jack Harlow, like I don't hate Jack Harlow, but I don't specifically go
Listen to
back
him,
and
yeah.
listen to him. But I do feel like when he brings people on, like he brings out the best of them. Fuck it, I'll even say that about Soldier Boy. Like
Yeah, actually.
Soldier Boy actually had like a pretty decent verse, and it sucks because you're getting all these unfinished ass songs that like can really make
The difference.
someone like Jack Harlow, who is kind of starting his career, but it's kicking off pretty strong, like
Skyrocket.
even like push him even further. And Soldier Boy, who hasn't done anything
My
in
man needs a lifeline.
15 years, you know, it can also push him to become a better artist and get better, you know, bars out of him, not the same stuff he's been doing for forever. I mean, you can only have so much Soldier Boy.
As soon as we were watching the event and all of a sudden I heard Draco, I was like, oh god damn it. But then as soon as he actually started going, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, all right. So we get this half-assed album, but him and Soldier Boy are on good terms. All right, here there you go. And it's like I guess
Don't even get me started on Soldier Boy though, because he went on those weird rants on Twitter
Oh yeah.
and
Oh,
was
hilarious.
talking about so much shit about Kanye and like, oh, go get your girl, and like, what are you doing? And like, not even a week before that thing, he was like shit talking him on Twitter.
Yeah.
And then right after, he was like, oh, Ye brings out the best in people. Like,
I mean,
I can't thank him enough for pushing me to be better. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
there's
You
two
were
ways of
just
that.
no,
Yeah.
but you were just shitting on him and talking about how like how much he doesn't do anything and like how irrelevant
Well,
and like all this other
keep in
nonsense.
mind,
But like right after, you're gonna go in and just be like, oh, you're the greatest thing ever. Like, dude, come
keep in
on.
mind, you went with him. You did a verse with him. He told you, "Oh, you're great. You did a good job. We're gonna put that on there." And the album to come out, and you're over here waiting for your verse to come out. Like, oh, it's me right here. To hear
Yeah, but,
nothing.
like-
nothing.
No, I get it, but like
And
it's
you're telling this
still.
man, it's like, oh,
I mean, you know how much that happens though? Like how many people throw verses at other artists that don't actually come to light? It's a
bet.
thing. I mean, I get it. It's probably disappointing because that would have been one of the biggest features you would have had
Yeah,
maybe ever.
yeah. But again, the
like-
fact that you saw it on the text message, him literally saying it was great, it was fantastic, boom, boom, boom.
It was more of a case of which I can kind of understand is he didn't want to hurt poor Draco's feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was
yeah.
trying to
This is
protect
Kanye,
his
though.
feelings.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah, but he
he's
had
gonna tell you
nothing-
straight up, like, if I don't like this, I don't like this.
But he I don't think it. I think it's different for him just because I think the verse was so bad that he really just. I don't think he had it in him to be like, "Yo, man, this was like
not
this
what
ain't it.
I wanted."
Yeah,
Like,
this was worse than anything anyone has ever put for me. Like, this was ass. And it's just like, how can you tell someone straight to their face, who's your friend, that? Like, it's really bad. And, but I get that
I mean,
personally.
he could have been subtle with it, cause you know you could try another one.
He probably did it and sent it to him. And then,
it was probably on a time crunch. I mean,
Yeah.
everything.
Everything Kanye's at the time. crunch, so
Everything Kanye does is on a time crunch. So at the end of the day, it probably got to him so late, and he didn't have enough time to, go back and forth with him, that it was just cut because there was nothing else you could do.
it was remote control, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Young Thug did it a lot better. Yeah.
but you know what? You know what Kanye does? He really knows how to get people trending, and I think that's another thing. Like,
true.
even after that, like Soulja Boy started getting talked about because, like, hey, he started making this scene about like how he got cut from the album, and when he started talking about him on Drink Champs and saying that the album was bad, it got Soulja Boy talking, and then even with Big Sean, like, when you haven't heard anything from Big Sean recently, and I don't have anything against Big Sean. I like Big Sean, but I haven't heard anything from him recently, and then all of a sudden, he's going out here and talking about Big Sean, saying it was his biggest mistake or whatever. But it got people talking about Big Sean again,
But
and it made people go back and think about Big Sean, like listen to
He's
Big
still
Sean.
alive.
I mean-
It got me wanting to listen to Big Sean.
I mean, Big Sean had Detroit 2, which came out I think in 2020. I think.
2020, really?
Yeah, and it actually did really good. They said that it was debatably like his best album that he put out. Period. And I listened to some of it, and I thought it was actually pretty good.
Yeah, but
It
that's the
didn't have,
thing, like
a fuck ton of buzz, but the people who did listen to it were like, oh, it's
that's the thing though. Big Sean like isn't bad. I don't hate Big Sean at all. I think he has moments where he shines and moments where he can be not so great. But that's everyone.
No,
But,
a little bit more than most, but yeah.
Okay.
I fuck with you, Big Sean.
Yeah, I fuck with Big
I fuck
Sean.
with you.
But it like I feel like they're I mean when he was on like the good music songs and all that, like there was so much more buzz about Big Sean to that even died down. Like Detroit 2, you didn't really hear a lot of people talking about it. Like it wasn't like super big.
It wasn't
And,
super big, but it was kind of. I think that was probably why, because it wasn't really an album that was like Dark Sky Paradise or I forgot the name of his first couple albums or mixtapes or whatever, where it was a bit more commercial. Like this had commercial songs on it, but it didn't really feel like he was chasing that one hit thing, like I Don't Fuck With You or something like that. It seemed like he was really trying to actually put together something special, and people don't care about that because he
Yeah.
just want hits. And
But
Was it overshadowed by another album that came out that around the same time?
I'm not sure, man. 2020 is a fucking blur. I don't know if it was last year. I think it was the last year or the year before. I don't know. But if it was last year, he probably got overshadowed by like a lot of big albums. But I don't know.
But point is, whenever Kanye does these things, I mean, it gets people talking about him and the person that he's involved with.
yeah.
I mean, he
The person's
always
definitely
brings
getting all the views.
publicity to it, and I think a lot of it, like, and this isn't a justification for any of the nonsense that he does, but I really do think that a lot of it is on purpose just to get people talking, even because at the end of the day, like Big Sean was on Good Music, and he was a Kanye artist, and it gets buzz, especially for an artist that probably wasn't getting as much attention as they were at some point. It really does get people talking and people like wanting to kind of like
Keep
almost
up with
like
it.
yeah, like back him up, like, oh, Big Sean's not that bad. Why would it be his biggest mistake? Because he's not. I mean, I personally don't think
No,
he
there's
is. I
way
mean,
worse.
Designer is
Designer.
Yeah.
Designer.
And no
Juan-
disrespect to Designer, but I
All
mean,
disrespect to Designer.
No,
Juan,
some of the stuff that he's put out is just not good.
Juan,
what's-
besides Panda,
That's the only one.
name me one other.
Okay, Carlos,
designers.
name me 2 songs that you like from him.
I don't.
Okay, there you
I mean,
go.
Panda's okay. I mean, there's Timmy Turner. I did not like Timmy Turner.
Please,
That
okay, I was about to question you real badly if you
Um,
like that song.
the only song I know from him was Caliber, and it was literally just because I thought it was Future at first, and then I mistook him for Future, and which everyone fucking does, and I was like, oh, that's not Future. Oh, okay. No offense to Designer, but I don't really. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Life of
He hasn't done
Designer when that
anything
came out. I mean,
No,
it was
It
was pretty bad.
popularity.
If you want to talk about someone who fell the fuck off, it's fucking Designer.
yeah. I mean,
No offense, Designer.
I
That's
can't really
not
say
a
he
lot
fell
of-
off
no
when
offense,
there
but
there
you're
wasn't
completely
anything.
shitting on him.
Yeah, I can't say he
Shit.
fell off when there was nothing to stand on to begin with. But
his best contribution, once again, no offense, Foster's Man's Part 2. Best contribution. And it was mostly because of the beat, which is not
yeah,
made by him. So
I
don't-
mean, Panda was okay, but I mean, he just never followed through with anything after that. Everything after that just kind of just went downhill, and he never found like a sound.
Yeah. Okay. So, we have a little story. So, boys, while we were talking about Designer, our laptop or Carlos's laptop didn't like Designer and decided to, you know what, I'm gonna throw myself to the gulag and get deleted.
You're that bad when the only equipment was like, I'm done with this. We ain't talking about this.
On another note, it could have been Designer himself being like, "Shut the fuck up."
Stop talking bad about me, please.
So our interface, Carlos's laptop, the whole table really just decided to fall.
Yeah,
So
don't know
this
why.
room is haunted by Designer and his career. But we're gonna move on. No offense, Designer.
Is that a dig saying his career is dead? Is
Yeah.
that why he's haunted?
Kinda, yeah. I think he just shows up sometimes. Like he was at the Yay listening party. I think he showed up to
Some
one
of the spiky people that could have been me.
yeah. I think he was at the one of the Donda ones, but it was like, who cares? So
I saw him like posting on Instagram or something talking about like dropping a new album. Like he has new music on the way. I'm like, dude, it's been like 6 years.
Oh boy. You ready for the listening party for that?
No. But yeah. So anyways, overall though, just to kind of do our overall thoughts. Yeah, Kanye, I really, 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 really want to believe in this project. I just not feeling it. But overall though, I think that we still have 10 other pretty good to amazing albums to listen to. So if this happens to be the one Kanye album that's not good, because I don't know if you guys saw what Needle Drop gave it. He said this is one of the darkest times in a person's life where I don't feel like I'm comfortable enough to rate their music or something like that right now with this unfinished ass album.
Jesus.
And he didn't really like it that much, it seemed like. And
it seemed like?
Yeah. He was wearing the red flannel. So shout out to Needle Drop. But yeah, I just think that we're all really on the same page of when we were watching the live stream in a party chat, Carlos was drinking a lot and having a fucking good ass time. I remember after when they started playing Hurricane and it was going into the fucking like the gulag, fucking Carlos like, oh wait, yeah, you saw you heard the glint of like hope in his his ears and his voice, and he was just like, oh, is this gonna be a complete dumpster fire? Ooh. That now, gentlemen, now you have my attention.
We drink to that.
Don't get me wrong. I was interested because I really wanted to go, and it sucks because I mean this is the first time Kanye has been performing in Florida since the Pablo tour since 2016, and I mean I was really excited to go. I really wanted to go to the other Donda listening parties. I mean it just seems like a good time, and I really wanted to go. I mean it's only 2 hours away from us, less than that, and It wasn't looking like we were going to make it happen. Yeah, Miami was only 2 hours from
like
here.
2-3 hours.
No, it's not 3 hours. It's 2 hours.
2 hours
It's
and
an hour and 40
It's probably
from
3
here.
hours when I drive.
It's yeah, maybe. But
like a law-abiding citizen.
even then, going the speed limit, it takes 2 hours to get there. But I mean, maybe the traffic sucks, but if there was no traffic and you're going to the speed limit, you'll make it there in 2 hours. But it sucks because I did really want to go, and I was excited for this. I was really enjoying the set and everything.
Don't-
Hit the go trip. Hit
Don't,
the go
li-
trip on him.
don't listen to this man. Carlos is a monster. Because as soon as everything started going to shit, he was like, "Oh, I wish I was there even more now."
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. Yeah, I did want to go, and I did want to be there, and
to see everything go to shit. In my
yeah,
face.
but not in a bad way. It was just I feel like it would have been entertaining
how
to be
is
in
that
the crowd.
in a good way?
No, because I feel like it just would have been entertaining to be there and be like, oh
100%,
shit,
yeah.
like it's
Everything is falling apart.
it was
Wow.
falling apart, but when you really think about it, that was like a Kanye West performance that's gonna go down in history. Probably not in the best way, but I mean,
you're right.
debatably one of the only like shitty performance. Not I don't want to say shitty, but like performances that have gone that wrong for him.
Mhm.
I mean, ever, if not in a long time.
Did you see what he was saying about why he threw his mic?
Yeah, I did see that he was saying that it was more so because they were forcing him to perform and he didn't want to perform.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because I feel like if everything was going smooth he would have just gotten into it and it would have been a good time and
Yeah.
he would have had a good time. I mean,
You could tell he was really into it in the beginning, and like he was actually
and the
smiling
frustration,
and stuff like
it
that.
was a frustration of all the technical
Mhm.
difficulties, and he can try and say that it's not that, and he was
Mhm.
trying to, which I do think is part of it. That makes sense. He is like that. But I think at the end of the day, it was a lot to do with the technical difficulties, and it's frustrating because once again, this is an artist that just throws everything he has at his performances, at his shows, and has always given 110%. And you know, this was something that was so out of his control that it's frustrating. Like back to the Pablo tour when he would stop performances because he was going on rants. He was doing this. That
Oh, God, that was
that was in
that
his
was
control.
rough.
That was a conscious choice that he made to stop these shows and do that while this was completely out of his control. And I don't think it was the way he expected this to go.
Mhm.
And everything was just out of sync, and it was just
I-
you could tell he was mad. I mean, there's no hiding the fact that he was mad. I do think that what he said it plays a pretty good role in it, but
Mhm.
I think overall he was just mad and not satisfied with the way things were going. That he kind of just gave up.
Well, you could tell the first time when the audio was going bad, he was, I can fix this, or I go stop try doing something. The second time, he was done. Like he was like,
Yeah.
I'm done with
Yeah.
this. Like, nah, I'm done.
And I mean
Get
the
me out of here."
entire song. I mean, I guess I just don't know how these shows get put on live, but I just don't see why the vocals, the pre-recorded, vocals had to be off time with the beat. I don't know if they're playing like a session file where that's open and separate. I don't know why they wouldn't make a version specifically for the performance, with whatever, backing vocals are playing and just without Kanye's part so he can perform. But I don't know, it was strange that everything was just so off time and that's what happens when Mike Dean's not there.
That was the funniest thing was Mike Dean was working on someone else's album or something or doing some engineering and he did a live video on Instagram and everyone in the chat was like, "Yo, boy Kanye need you, bro. Where the fuck you at?" And
Yeah.
he was just like smoking a blunt, having a good time, watching the performance, seeing Playboy Cardi fucking do some WWE shit. Like he
Everything's
didn't
on
give
fire.
a shit. That's what I love about Mike Dean. I think that's what Kanye loves about Mike Dean is he just is like he's so chill and laid back and cool, but like he gets shit done.
Yeah.
Like uh, he really needed Mike Dean on there, and I also really feel so bad for Alicia Keys and 5 Foreign because 5 Foreign he was doing off the grid with next to Playboy Cardi's weird ass and the dude who no one knows and Kanye, and then he had to like yell his lines, like yell, and he could not hear himself. He didn't know left from right. And then when they did City of Gods, the new Kanye song with Alicia Keys tried her best. I think she was also having problems with her headset because like you could tell she was a little off key at certain points, unless she was just, off key. But like it just seemed like everything was off for everybody. Like even Pusha T, when they did Diet Coke, they cut the song short and then started playing Pablo again for the second time. And Pusha T was like, "Well, I guess my turn's fucking up now. Like, I guess I'm off."
Getting me
Yeah.
out.
Like-
I did find it kind of strange that Mike Dean wasn't there, even if he was doing another album. Why? I mean, Mike Dean was there for everything. Why wasn't he there for this one? I mean,
Oh,
he probably just could have flown out for the. I don't know, but
he's probably just busy with this thing.
yeah, I can guarantee that Kanye would not do anything without Mike Dean being there
Yeah.
ever again.
But overall, those are our thoughts. We hope everything gets better, and
We do.
we're still Kanye fans. As frustrating as it can be sometimes, and even though Kanye is never going to watch this, we fucking love you. We love your music and everything. Chill out a little bit, but don't agree with everything. But overall, though, in terms of the artistry and the way the event looked and everything, you can't really beat that. Like no one that I know in history can do something like that.
No, and at the end of the day, like we said, I mean, set wise, he's always
Phenomenal.
going to put everything into it. It looked beautiful. I mean, everything was
You
lining
can't
up.
take that away from it.
No, it was lining up to be a fantastic listening party. I mean, maybe the music wasn't so bad, but once again, like the first Donda listening party was like that. Like some of the songs were just you were sitting there scratching your head, like, is this really it?
My
But
my favorite thing about the first Donda listening party, before we wrap it up, is just the fact that at the end, us three were watching it, and then he's by like one of the exits, and he's in his red like plastic jacket thing, and then he just like points up at the credits like, yeah, puts his hand down and just walks off. And we were like, is that it? Was that it?
Yeah.
And then it was just like Donda, and then it just ended. And we were like, what? It looked like like I think people are saying he was frustrated or something, but like it was just so funny. He was like, yeah,
I'm out.
I'm out. And just fucked off. And I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, but those are our thoughts on if Donda 2 was a disappointment, and the listening party and the album itself as of right now in its unfinished form. We hope you guys enjoyed it. If we're at a point right now where if you just watched it, we appreciate whatever you did.
yeah,
Like,
no,
we're
seriously, if you've made
right.
it this far,
Like,
if you somehow have made it this
Yeah.
far, thank you, and
we'll get
we'll-
decorations up.
yeah, we'll
Next
make
time,
it better,
I promise.
and
yep.
Instead of using my beat up ass CDs. But like yeah, we appreciate you guys, and we hope you subscribe. If not, we still appreciate you watching, and we hope you have a good one. And this is the Headphones On podcast, and we'll see you later.
thank you guys.
Goodbye.